Hi, I'm Tzviya Siegman, team contact for the Sustainable Web Interest Group. I'm going to share my screen with you so that I can share an update about the web sustainability guidelines. Today, I am going to offer an overview of digital sustainability, a little update on the web sustainability guidelines, as well as some information about our supplemental documents and implementations. The Sustainable Web Interest Group is creating the Web Sustainability Guidelines to document best practices about creating websites in a sustainable way. Sustainability envisions an ethical and more humane web that provides environmental, social, and governance best practices. When we talk about the environment, we're talking about information like emissions and water. This might be what your company reports to government organizations, the emissions created when you're creating a product, the water used when creating a product. An example of social is when a data center uses enough water that the people in the area around the data center have trouble accessing that water because it's being used by the data center. And governance is the policies around that, whether that's created by governments or businesses. The impact, we're moving on to slide 4. Many people don't realize that websites have a huge environmental impact. Everything online requires energy, whether it's a data center, the network, or the actual devices that users have in their hands. And most of that still comes from fossil fuels. Beyond operational use, there's embodied energy and emissions from manufacturing hardware. Planned obsolescence leads to hardware replacement, which usually leads to e-waste. If we accomplish nothing in this group other than prolonging the life of hardware by prolonging the life of software, we will have accomplished a significant amount by reducing electronic waste and things that leach into soil. In 2022 alone, the world produced 62 million tons of e-waste, and that's expected to exceed 82 million by 2030. Many people approximate that the web industry is approximately the same as a commercial airline industry, and that's only growing with AI. So let's take a close look at the web sustainability guidelines. We have this divided by role. We have taken a look at several different ways of organizing this document, and we've concluded that role-based is a really comfortable solution. We have special filters in the document that enable you to search by things like accessibility, privacy, certain types of legislation that have already adopted this, and many other ways, and we can always add more. So if you're only interested in the guidelines that affect privacy, you can just click on the button that says privacy and search only by privacy, and then you can also create a link and send it out using that link. But for now, we're going to talk about UX, web development, hosting and infrastructure, as well as business strategy and project management. So moving on to slide 8, let's take a close look at business and product strategy. This is really for organizational leaders. Examples include supporting disclosure reporting by estimating the environmental impact, as well as planning for end of product services and end of life for actual hardware. So one specific example would be guideline 5.9. We support mandatory disclosures and reporting, and each guideline has one or more success criteria. So this means creating policies and practices, documenting impact reporting, creating standards and policies, as well as impact reduction. And we move on to 10 and 11, where we talk about web development. This one's for the coders and engineers. We have examples include improving coding efficiency and reducing payloads. Removing unnecessary code. By removing unnecessary code, we reduce data transfer. Moving on to hosting and infrastructure, which helps us make choices about which third-party suppliers we'll be using. We enable people to choose sustainable providers, and this actually includes a lot of information about what a sustainable provider is. So we see information here about caching, offline access, how to automate efficiently, and some information about file compression as well. The last section is UX design. This gives information about creating a sustainable experience. Sometimes that means reducing the amount of time that a person spends on a device. And these guidelines give information about things like reducing manipulative and deceptive patterns and evaluating feature use. So a specific example here is guideline 215, optimizing images for sustainability. So this can include things like assessing whether there is an actual need for images, optimizing images, using lazy loading, sizing and deactivation, and image and management use. So you might wonder how we measure all of this. Right now, we're looking at two different sets of metrics. We've created an internal system, which is very much a work in progress, and I've linked to the GitHub issue here. We have an impact score, which is a combined score. Each guideline is assigned an impact rating of low, medium to high for each of people, planet, and prosperity, which is a way that people discuss environment, society, and governance. We'll probably change the wording there. And that's a value of 1, 2, or 3 for each of those. And each guideline is also assigned an impact time frame of low, medium, or high, depending on how long it takes to realize. And the combined total is the impact score. It's very much an estimate, and it's really just to give us a progress over perfection scoring system. To get a more specific system, which has to do with the carbon intensity, we're working in collaboration with the Green Software Foundation, which has a specification in progress called Software Carbon Intensity for Web, which actually measures emissions. Moving on to slide 17, we can take a look at some of the supplemental documents we have. We have a number of resources. We've documented laws and policies, and we're in the middle of documenting a conformance model, which will, of course, dovetail the laws and policies as well as work with our metric systems. And we'd very much love to hear from any of you who have anything to add to the laws and policies. And I will also add that beginning in January, we'll be having a call once a month that is at an Asia-friendly time. So if any of you would like to join us, we would very much welcome you. We have a list here of some of the experiments and implementations that already exist, and we would love to hear about more. If you take a look at sustainablewebdesign.org, you'll see that it's really the specification in a more user-friendly format. And I encourage you to take a look at some of these to see what people are doing to experiment with W3C specs. And we would love to hear from you. Take a look at our GitHub repository, explore, and please join our group. Thank you.